Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Johnny, and welcome to episode 116 of the Travel Like Boss podcast. I'm here with Michael Harbone from the UK. How's it going?
It's good. Good. How you doing, Johnny?
Yeah, really good. So I'm actually really excited to have you on the show because not only are you the first Earnest affiliate student to come on, but turns out I actually met you years before I realized. Can you tell the story of how we met?
Okay, so I was training a gym in Minbury in it's just on the outside. It's about 30 kilometers from Bangkok, northeast, and I had an MMA fight in China. And I was looking around for a gym to go train at. I went to quite a few, and then I found out the 13 Coins gym had like an MMA program. I went to go check it out with Brandon Kessler, and it was Bobby Garrett's also. And while I was training there, you came along because you were doing a tour or something of the gyms, and we met briefly, talked briefly, and that was about it for our converse. I saw you doing the your blog at the time, and that's how I started just kind of follow you a little bit.
Okay, cool. So do you remember how many years ago that was? When that was?
Jesus Christ. That was just like 5. It was probably 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. So I was training at a gym called Phuket Top Team down in Phuket, doing MMA and Muay Thai. And a buddy of mine named Will the Kill Chope, who later actually ended up fighting once or twice in the UFC, he said, "Hey, I'm going up to this gym in Bangkok called 13 Coins. Do I come check it out?" And I just thought, hey, this would be great for my blog, my old Muay Thai blog. I'll go up there and do some, shoot some video tours, and maybe they'll let me stay there for free and sleep in one of their cheap rooms. Turns out it was an attic above the gym. Did you ever actually go up there and see what it looked like?
Yeah, I did go up there. I was staying at an apartment nearby. I was like, I'm not staying in that thing.
Oh, it was yeah. You could describe how bad it was.
Okay, so it was like you had to climb like some steep steps to get up there.
Not even steps. It was like a kind of a broken ladder. Yeah.
Yeah. The ties that were staying there were turfed out. So you were actually, there was one or two that stayed up there with you.
Yeah, so they were in the next room. So there was like 3 separate. Okay. So it was basically the entire attic of the Muay Thai gym. And it was kind of separated to like 2 or 3 different spaces. So Will had one, I had my own kind of space, and then I think some Thai people had another spot.
Yeah, that at Thai gyms that normally happens. They provide like cheap accommodation. Mm-hmm. Normally in a Thai gym, they train twice a day train twice a day, morning and afternoon. The gym provides them with accommodation, training, and food for 50% of their purse. That's the regular thing. Some gyms, okay, they like the price, the percentage is a little bit up and down, And what happens is the gym has to provide them with accommodation, and the accommodation for this gym was up in the attic. And the Thai gyms, sometimes they don't really care where the fighters like sleep, as long as they're sleeping. The 13 Coins accommodation, it was okay. I've seen worse. I've stayed in worse when I was like a bootstrapping Muay Thai fighter. So yeah, it was for I'd say for the person from the West England or America, they would like turn their head at it, and they wouldn't want to stay in it, because it's the low of the low kind of accommodation.
Yeah, it's something that you would see on TV, like from a slum. It's kind of this dark. There was definitely, at least there was a light bulb, but there wasn't. There's no furniture, there's no desk or anything. You kind of just crawl up this half broken ladder into this attic, and you just kind of lay down. And there were rats up there. You'd hear them every night.
Yeah, I saw them.
The closest bathroom was probably like a 10-minute walk away, because you'd have to crawl down the ladder, walk through the gym into like the restaurant area. So at night, if I had to go to the bathroom, I would actually just stand on the ladder and just try to pee over the wall.
That's funny.
It wasn't a nice experience, but I think it was experiences like that make me more appreciative of our lives today.
Yeah. Well, after like 13 coins, all right. One of the places I actually built my own Muay Thai gym. It was that was about 3 or 4 years ago, and the accommodation I stayed in, it was literally like the one I built for myself. It was like a wooden hut. I can send pictures or put them in your show notes, or if people want to see this sort of gym of mine. And the hut, like the accommodation, was literally 1 meter by 2 meters. That was the room that I stayed in. That was the tiny room. That's not the worst, but it was okay. It's like a wooden hut. So.
Okay. So where was this gym that you started?
The gym I started was in Membry, and what happened is I did it in I put trust in the Thai people I thought I trusted. So I started the gym, and they started off by hiring an idiot construction guy who didn't know what he was doing. The foundations were like literally a meter deep. On sludge land, it was a terrible mess. And then an engineer came and said, "What the F are you doing?" He was like, "You can't do that. The foundations need to go like 6 meters deep."
Wow,
at
that's
least.
crazy. And this was in what city? Is it like just outside of Bangkok or somewhere else?
Yeah, it's about, all right, so from 13 coins, you were looking about 10 kilos.
Okay, so 10 kilometers away. Okay.
Yeah. So I was like kind of doing it on their land, and I didn't do any contracts or anything. I was like, oh, okay, this will be okay. I trust them. They're nice people. I was very naive. And, it was the first experience of how, getting scammed over. Because
that sucks, man.
It started in I started building it in June or July, and then it started getting customers, and then the agreement I made with the Thai people was like, okay, I'll build it up and everything, but let me get my return first, and then I'll give you 50% of the profits. Mm-hmm. But they saw all these foreigners coming. They were like, oh, these foreigners, this is what I think was in their head. All these foreigners are like coming in, and they're paying money, but Michael's not giving any to us. But they didn't realize that I was paying for trainers, I was paying for new equipment, I was paying for electric, They didn't realize this.
Yeah.
They just saw like money,
Yep.
like it was they were like poor people. I don't want to say bad things about poor people, but at the same time, the mentality of how is like, oh, there's money coming in, where's mine?
Yeah. Where's my cut of it? That makes sense.
But they didn't realize what I was trying to do, and in January I had I think it was like 7 people training there, it was a small gym, and I was like, oh, right, I was like, fuck, I've got 7 people and I can expand. So I was going to expand again, and just basically be able to have talking 15-20 people be able to train, pay for the ties. I was paying for food. The accommodation was already there, so you didn't have to pay. But I was paying for the food, which was coming out to quite 10,000 baht a month for everybody. I think maybe 12. Mm-hmm. And it was just people that I thought, I can be a good partnership here, But at the end of the day, it just money saw them, and then I got luckily I knew a police officer in the local area. And I couldn't get back the foundation or anything because they drilled into the ground, obviously. But I got back all the equipment and gave it to another gym. So literally, they lost out on everything.
What sucks is in these situations, it's always like a no-win situation. But I think people, especially people who don't have the business mindset, they screw themselves over. Tiger Muay Thai in Chiang Mai. Did you know? Have you ever heard the story of what happened there?
Yeah, I know what happened. Yeah.
So for those who don't, and, these are great business lessons for anyone to learn. Even if you guys have nothing to do with Muay Thai itself, but these guys had a huge gym in Phuket, which I've trained at. $1 million operation, and they've been around for a long time, so they know what they're doing. They know not to get ripped off. They know to hire lawyers, and they built this beautiful gym, probably the most state-of-the-art, biggest gym I've ever seen. It had 4 boxing rings, it had an indoor BJJ area, had another indoor weight room, had 48 rooms on site, and they invited me up to their soft opening because I knew their general manager as well as a couple of the fighters there because I used to train on that. So they're hanging out. I'm hanging out with former UFC fighter Roger Huerta and all these people and having a great time. And a few days later, I get a message from the general manager at the time saying, "You never guess what happened. They screwed us over." And they just it's. And here's the reason why we don't do any business in Thailand, and this is why I don't recommend people have a location dependent business, especially in a country that that the laws are never going to be on your side. Is people can just screw you over, and there's really nothing you can do about it.
Even if there's contracts in place, I've seen people who have put all the contracts in place, 49% to the foreigner, 51% to the Thai, and they still got screwed over. The successful people that have actually made businesses and run them in Thailand, they've actually got it solely in their name. So what they do is they put, I'm just speaking from what I've been told. Don't take me legally on this, but they put 49% in their name. And then they have nominal Thais who basically have no voting rights. So they give 5% or 10% to this person, 10% to this person, 10%. So literally those other people, they have not enough percentage in the company to have no voting rights. So they can't do anything. And it's I think it's just like kind of a loophole that's in it. But again, after all my experiences, I would never touch another business in Thailand. It's just not worth the pain.
Well, you know what? 100. You're 100% right about that. The thing about it is, what you're saying is right. I actually know a few business owners that's exactly what they do. That's how they set up their business, where they have 49%, and then they find a couple different Thai people, sometimes lawyers, sometimes just random people that own tiny percentages of the company and they don't know each other. I think that's the most important part. Is so they can't get together and just vote you out. They have. They don't even know who the other people are, so they're not going to do anything. But here's the problem: is if you are not successful, you're not profitable, you don't have business, nobody cares, nobody come after you. But once you are profitable, that's when people want a cut of the pie, and it's this, it's really like a scarcity mentality that people have, or entitlement mentality. They're like, oh, this person is making so much money in our country, it's time for us to take a piece of it. Why is this person getting rich? And they don't account for things like investment costs, or return, ROI, or hiring practices, or equipment costs. All these fees that there are. They just see a lot of customers, and they decide, okay, it's time for us to cash in. A good example is rent. So if you rent a place, to start a Muay Thai gym or co-working space or, coffee shop, whatever it is, and you don't have any business, your landlord is happy that you don't have business, because it shows that if they had started something, they wouldn't have made any money anyway. So they are better off collecting rent from you. But if they see a ton of customers, they get greedy and they're like, well, I'm going to raise this guy's rent because first off, he can afford it. And second, if he leaves, which I want him to, I'll start a business there and I'll become rich because, obviously it's because of my land, this location, that makes it so great. And almost 100% of the time, the people move out because the rents go up like crazy. They kind of get screwed over. And the new landlord, they're just stuck, holding the bag, and they're not making any money because they have no business sense.
I wouldn't say put 100% of the Thai people in this, because there are some savvy people who, there are good Thai people, there are, every country there are the good and the bad. So I wouldn't put every single person into their category, of they'll screw you over. Because I have friends who they've been to the West and they've opened up their own businesses in Thailand, so they've got a bit of a Western mentality,
Thai people in general are super nice. It's such a great culture. I love Thai people, but I would never do business in a place where people have the upper hand legally wise. And also it happens so often, where I've heard hundreds of stories of people getting screwed over doing business in Thailand, and people always think that, this person's gonna be different because I know their character, they're a good person, and they still get screwed over. So it's not worth the risk.
I've heard it many times.
I mean, it's the same reason why I wouldn't get married without a prenup. Actually, as funny as I was just talking to Larissa, my ex-girlfriend, and she just mentioned over the phone that if I ever get married again, to promise her, whether it's, and regardless of who I get married to, and she's like, make sure you sign a prenup. And those weren't the words she used, because in South Africa it's something else. But she says, make sure you don't enter into a marriage contract where you get screwed if things don't go well. And because it's happening to someone that she knows right now, and as a very logical woman, she sees it's destroying their relationship, but also neither of them can leave and move on and be happy in their own lives because of this legal binding document that screws one party over more than the other.
That's really nice. You were together, then you split up, and then you still talk to her, and she still gives you good advice. That's really nice to see. You've kept each other as like friends.
It's like why would you spend so many years with someone that you love and then just have them become someone you used to know, right? Like if you can't be together as a partner, why not still have a great friendship?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, but anyway, so let's fast forward. So, you grew up in England. You moved to Thailand to do Muay Thai.
9 years ago.
9 years ago, we kind of almost the exact same time. So I moved in 2008. So you actually moved here before I did.
2007.
Wow, that's crazy. So kind of very
7 months.
Yeah, very similar paths, right? We're both doing Muay Thai. I'm assuming you're living on the cheap.
Yeah.
And we randomly met this gym just for a few days. Didn't really keep in touch that much afterwards. But then you saw that I had a blog and you just started following it. What made you intrigued by it?
I think it was. I'd have to think back. What was it? I think it was just like I was like, at the time I was earning my money from like Muay Thai, fighting in China and all that kind of stuff, and I was kind of thinking I want to make some online income, because I would fight Muay Thai, and then it would go to a point like sometimes I wouldn't get fights in China. I'd have to go teach English, which it would take up my time. I just wanted to fight Muay Thai, and I was like, right, I want to find a different way to earn money online. And then I started looking what you were doing. Like at first I was like, okay, I met this guy, but I'm still a bit skeptical, like I was like, it could be done, but can it really be done, and it was just the fact that I wanted to make another source of income which could make me money, Mm-hmm. I think I started following you in about a year and a half. I think it was about a year and a half ago I started following you.
Okay.
Is when you were doing your drop shipping.
Yep. And it's so I think a year and a half ago, if I think back, I think that was kind of like when I was already being successful with dropshipping. So I was talking about it a lot because I was really excited. And this is kind of before I was doing all the other businesses, and that was kind of like my primary business, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I found you on. I actually read some of your posts on the My Fight
Camp
blog.
Yeah,
that's
myfightcamp.com. Yeah. And I think so. Myfightcamp.com is still up. I don't really update it much anymore, but that was all about my Muay Thai and MMA journeys, and that kind of taught me, how to write, in a very clear, concise way that people can kind of follow, how to build a following in a passion that you have, and just how to blog in general. So it wasn't a waste of time, but I never really made any money from that blog.
Yeah, it was the blog was it was good, as a Muay Thai enthusiast and someone who trains Muay Thai. I actually read it because it was something that I did, and it was like, okay, where has he been? Okay, what's this camp like? It's because you gave your personal opinion, and it's like with some of the other blogs as well. Muay Thai Scholar.
Okay.
He also does a very good job with his as well, and I just read like, when at the time I was like, okay, where do I want to go? Okay, what's this camp like? I didn't want just one opinion, because one opinion is one opinion. I wanted to, okay, what's this person got to say? What's this person got to say? What's this? So I can get a broad opinion. Okay, what is the actual opinion? Because somebody might have had a good experience that day, and another day someone might have had a bad experience.
Yeah,
and
that makes
another
sense.
Good,
Yeah, and you know what's funny is I used to read some of those blogs, especially when I was looking for different gyms as well. So I remember I was, I was just researching gyms, and I was like, oh, you know what? I wonder if there's a Muay Thai gym in Koh Tao. So then I read one, and the review was like really good. So I went to Koh Tao to train, and I was like, man, this gym sucks. And I actually reached out to the guy, and I emailed him saying, why did you say this gym was good? And like, it obviously isn't, no offense to everyone there, I'm sure some people, they want to, head kick me for saying that, but it just, it was more of a gym for tourists that just want to try it out once, right? They don't really care about training Muay Thai. They're not there to fight professionally. They just happen to be there because their boyfriend is scuba diving, so they want to just try Muay Thai because they happen to be there. It wasn't really set up to be a legit Muay Thai gym. So the trainers didn't really care. They kind of just let you do whatever you do. It wasn't very serious, right?
Yeah.
And I emailed him saying, why would you say it's a good gym when it's obviously not? And he messaged back saying like, oh, I can't offend people because of, XYZ reasons. And that's when I decided, you know what, I'm going to review more gyms, and I'm going to do it super openly and honestly, and tell people, like, what's up, the pros and the cons.
Yeah, well, it's like that's depending on what gym you go to, it's like it can be a good thing and a bad thing. It's like, I actually heard about one guy who reviewed a gym in Bangkok. I don't want to say the name because maybe I might get like done if they hear this podcast. He actually gave a bad review, and he got Thai people actually came after him. This is what that's what I heard. It was like, I was like, oh, okay, that's a bit crazy. But at the same time, gyms are like, especially the Thai gyms, like Thai gyms, we're talking like the 96 Penang with like proper, like there's no foreigners. Those gyms are always revolving. Like I was at 96 Penang for, I think it was 2.5 years, maybe no, 3 years. And during that time, when I think it was during when the protesters first happened, when like the junta came in, when that happened, Rajasthan Stadium was closed down, and the gym just died. It just went dead, and it was like, why am I training here? I was going there, I was bored. There was just me and another fighter. The other fighter didn't want to clinch with me because he was being an arse, or because I was a foreigner and he didn't like me. That also happens. So not all gyms, but because you're a foreigner, they don't like you.
Yeah, also what they said about writing negative reviews is people. I think it's the culture where people really don't like hearing constructive criticism or negativity, and not negativity as in like, oh, life sucks, or like nothing's good. Honest negative opinion. People they don't want to hear it. They just want to hear they're the best, even if their food sucks, the restaurant does not allow. And I think I actually heard, I don't know if this is true or not, that if you write anything negative about a business on social media, that even if it's true, that it's slander, it's defamation.
That's the one. Yeah, there's so much nowadays. No, it's like I was up in is a Put Thai Song. It's in the province of Buriram in Isan, where I go to visit regularly. And we went to this restaurant with my friends, and they brought out, and I said to them, okay, all right, I don't want to put any sugar in it, and they put sugar in it, and I was like, and another dish, like they get like it was a kapamu go, which is like crispy pork, and in this one they put so little crispy pork and a lot of vegetables, and the sugar was too much sugar. I went up to them, my friends were like, no, don't say anything. I was like, I don't give an S, I went up to them and said, hey, talk to me in Thai. I was like, this has got too much sugar in it, make it again. This what's this? This is just vegetables, and it was like my friends were like, no, don't say anything, and I was like, no, I've got to, it's like. But,
well, that really depends. Like, so if you said it in like a really rude way, then obviously they would get pissed, But if you were like super polite about it, and be like, hey, I'm really sorry, even if you just said like like, I'll pay for this one, but can you make another one without sugar? I really don't want it. It really depends on the way you say it, right? So like, if you want it to be like super polite, and you said something like, hey, I'm, really sorry, but I really can't have them sugar in this dish. I'll even pay for this one. Can you make another? It's very different than, kind of demanding, saying like, you have to make this one again,
Yeah, I've sometimes sometimes I'm a little bit like rash, because I've lived here for quite a few years. It's like I sometimes get annoyed at like them not listening. Sometimes I'm okay, but sometimes I'm having a bad day and I'm like, I don't care.
Well, what's actually really funny is, so one of the reasons why I wanted to learn Thai is because, sometimes I ask for like very specific things, right? Like, like, please don't make it, too spicy, or please substitute this for that, and I know it's kind of a pain in the butt, especially if it's like, there's a language barrier. So I was telling a friend, a Thai friend, saying like, yeah, I always just assume it's my fault because if I spoke Thai, they'd probably understand. And they said, nope, trust me, it doesn't make a difference. And that's kind of just the attitude a lot of times here. But it's one of those things, right? Like it's there's pros and cons of living everywhere. And because they have that my bin lai mentality, that kind of like, nothing matters, nothing's a big deal mentality. That's also what makes living in Thailand so great, because it's so laid back, right?
Yeah. But it's you've got to, it's like living here is like, it's great, but at the same time you've got to grit your teeth sometimes. But I think it was the last 6 months I've been like a grumpy old man,
Well, that's when we gotta catch ourselves and be like, you know what, we're in one of these moods, nothing's going well, and it may not be your fault, maybe things going around you are not going well, but that's when we got to figure out, okay, what can we do about it? Can we, and usually it's, if we have enough money, we can pick up and go, and we can, stay in a nice, a nice 5-star hotel somewhere, get really good service, eat at nice restaurants for a while, and then kind of reset ourselves. We were like, okay, you know what, this is nice, but I don't really need this. I don't need like people to like wait on me hand and foot. I can go back to eating the $2 Thai food that they mess up half the times.
What it's like since I've. Like sometimes it's nice, just like once in a while, to go out and have that kind of stuff, Mm-hmm. But yeah, most of the time, just like yourself, I'm going out to the Thai stores and eating the Thai food, and yeah, it's a pretty nice life, I live quite moderately, and it's a nice life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's funny is I think the one thing I've done that really got people to understand, I didn't really do it on purpose, to be honest, so what I do now is, if food is just really bad, or it's like, it's not what I wanted at all, I just won't eat it. I'll pay for it, and I would just be like, and I'll just tell them like, oh, I'm not hungry, but I think they know, they're like, oh man, we messed up, and I think that actually gets people to notice more than if like someone complained, because
okay, I'll change that.
And at the end of and this is why I like being in a position where it's not hurting us financially to be able to order something and just be like, oh, you know what, it's it doesn't taste the way I want it to taste, maybe the cook sucks, maybe the food was bad quality, or maybe they didn't do it right, or maybe it's just not our personal preference, but either way, we vote with our dollars, right? And if we have enough voting power, man, like life really becomes easy. And to be honest, I'm getting a little bit tired of of the standard day-to-day life here in Thailand, even though I love it. So I'm gonna fly to Europe for a while, and I'm gonna reset myself, and when I come back, I guarantee you I'm not even gonna remember the things that used to annoy me here, the little things. I'm gonna come back refreshed.
Yeah, that happens. I went back to England for 6 weeks. It was a little bit longer. Back in January this year, and I came back and I was like, oh, I love this food now. I was eating it every day, and I was like, yeah, now it's not so good, So no, it does happen when you go away from the country for a bit.
I like it. Let's talk more about the business. So you started following my blog right around when I started doing well with dropshipping. I was kind of I was really excited about it at that time. Did you have any online income at all?
I was doing like kind of like selling things online. I was doing some freelance work on Fiverr.
Yeah. What do you mean? When you say like selling things online, what do you mean by that?
Just stuff on eBay.
Okay.
Just finding stuff in Thailand I could sell, and then just selling it online and send it out of the country.
Okay. So then, when you started following my blog, like what kind of caught your eye? What did you start doing first?
I was actually just trying. I followed your blog for a little bit, and I was like, "What's he doing?" And then I actually bought Antoine's course, and I tried it, and it was going okay. And I opened up a limited company in the United Kingdom, and I came to a big problem. When I tried to open up a bank account in the United Kingdom, I couldn't. And I couldn't do it when I went back to the UK because I don't have a trading address. And this was one of the biggest things for me that I couldn't find on Antoine's course, is like how to open a business bank account. Because if I used my personal account, I could have done that. But if they found out I was using it as a business account, well, I would have like had it closed down, and then I would have had problems.
So in the UK, is it not legal to use your personal bank account to run a business?
No, I'm not sure how that runs, but I actually talked to the bank. I was like, right, if I run my business like transactions through my personal account, is that okay? And they said, well, if we find out you do that, we'll close down your account. And I don't think it would take much, because it'd be like, oh, the money's coming to this and it's going straight out, coming in, going out, going out. And those students start to realize what I was doing.
That's crazy. That's a rule, because in the US, it's you can absolutely use a personal account for business. I'm actually Googling it right now just because I'm so curious if this is a real thing.
It was the bank. I'm not sure if it's a law, but it was my bank. I have Lloyd's Bank, and that's what they said to me. And I was like, okay. It's like, great. I would have been like, I can do this. And I would have actually worked my ass off to open a dropshipping store, but then like it just didn't happen. I haven't refunded the cost because I think it works. I've seen it, like I've seen in the forum many people making money. Then I've seen the Facebook group, many people making money. I'm like, this dropshipping thing does work, but I just can't do it because of certain things. And it broke my heart. I was like, okay, so I'll look for other things to do online, Yeah.
So actually, it's actually great that you're talking about this, because so for people from different countries, it's going to be more of a challenge to get started, because it's not going to be as straightforward. So obviously Anton and myself are both from the US, so that's one thing we can speak about, right? So I can tell, I can say with 100% certainty that if you're American, that you can use your own personal bank account to start your dropshipping store. And if anything, there's almost no reason for you not to, unless you have a super high net worth that you want to protect. So if you have $1 million in the bank or something, then you should go through the process. But if you're just some average person, especially because dropshipping is one of those businesses that there's not that much liability, because you're not the one manufacturing the product, you're not the one shipping it or anything. But for an American, 100%, you can just sell under your name. You can just be a sole proprietor. But for the UK or for Australia, or for if you're from Sweden or Holland, chances are you don't have to find that stuff out yourself, and it is a roadblock. So I absolutely understand, because there's going to be all these hurdles that other people aren't going to be able to answer for you. And I think that's why it's kind of hard for me to even like sometimes when people, for a long time actually, literally until very recently, when people said like, oh, I'm in the UK, I don't know if it's going to work here, I would say to them, I don't know if it's going to work, because I'm assuming it will, but I haven't met, I don't have any personal friends who have done it.
Well, the thing is, like, the only reason why, like, when I went back to the UK, I still had my limited company. I had my limited company for over a year, and the only roadblock was opening a business bank account.
Okay.
And the only reason why I couldn't open a business bank account was because I didn't have a trading address. Now, I asked, my mother in the UK, and I said, okay, can I use your address? She's like, I'm sorry, it's against her mortgage policy, so I couldn't use it.
Okay.
But there are other members in the UK who have opened up a business bank account and because they trade from home, But that was really the only roadblock for me. I'm like, when I do get back into the drop shipping, once I've finished all my old Kindle stuff, I'll actually really research, okay, how can I get around this thing, you know? So apart from that,
I've just looked it up while we're talking, and I looked up at startups.co.uk as well as The Guardian. They both have articles saying what do you need to be a sole trader.
I'm a sole trader.
Okay. So as a sole trader, which I assume is just like independent, you know, self-employed,
Yes.
right? Do you need a personal or business bank account? And according to the
Okay, Karen, I'm sorry.
According to The Guardian, is it legal to use a personal bank account for business? And according to this, it says there is no legal requirement to have a business bank account if you're a sole trader or partnership. It is only necessary for a limited company. However, it is quite useful.
Yeah, it's like I was trying to do one as a limited company.
Okay.
But it's like I'm a sole trader because I want to have I've got that under for my Kindle business. I've got everything going through my sole trader because then I can claim expenses on that.
Okay, and there's definitely benefits of that. I can see. Yeah.
And my mum's boyfriend, he works as like, I think it's an electrician or a plumber, and he has a sole trader, and he runs everything through his personal bank account. So he hasn't got a business bank account.
Okay. So it's definitely possible. Just in your situation, you wanted it to be able to do it under a limited company. You just weren't able to.
Yeah.
Okay. And then are there not like address?
Well, in the UK.
Yeah.
Sorry, in the UK, most of the companies won't. From like what I've experienced, they won't accept unless you've got a VAT number and a registered limited company, and you don't want a VAT number because that's an extra 20% on top.
Okay,
that's just not fun.
Okay, that makes sense. So I guess the other thing about it is, like in the US, you can get a virtual address or like a forwarding address. Is that something that you guys can get in the UK?
Oh yeah, I had for my limited company. I had a registered address in London.
But they wouldn't let you open a bank account using that address?
No, because it was a registered address, not a trading address.
So what actually is a trading address?
A trading address is where you work from. A registered address is where your mail goes.
Oh, I see. Man, so you guys have much different rules. It's crazy, right?
It's hard.
But you know what? What's great about it being hard is it keeps out other competitors. And, so I firmly believe that, at least in the UK, it's probably way more difficult to get started because you have all these rules. But I bet you there's also wide open business because there's less people getting started. And actually, so I don't know the guy, but a guy named Karen, he just, Karan or something, Kyron, he just messaged me the other day saying, he saw that I sold my dropshipping store, and he wanted to know who my broker was because he has a store in the UK that is doing 2,000 quid a month. And I was like, wow, you know what? I've been kind of waiting for someone to be successful with dropshipping in the UK, and because I don't personally know any of them, I haven't really been recommending it too much to people from England, but. Like, this guy's been in business for, almost a year, and he's been making on average, 2,000 British pounds, which is almost 3,000 US. Awesome. Yeah. So now I'm like, okay, well, how many other people are like him who figured it out, figured out all the rules, and are making, $3,000 a month, running a UK-based dropshipping store? There must be other ones.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Like, they've opened a Facebook group now for the actual UK guys to have a discussion for
nice.
Anton's course.
I like to call him Antoine, by the way. But yeah, that's cool. You know what? That's actually really cool too. I think about a year ago, there was nobody in Australia who was successful yet. So people were also saying like, oh, you can't do it in Australia because they don't have, minimum advertised price policies or blah, blah, all these things. And again, I'll be like, I don't know because I'm not from Australia. I assume it's going to work, but I can't definitely say yes or no. And as of about a year ago, there are a ton of I would say at least 20 plus people who are making a full-time living dropshipping in Australia, and they are like really at it because I think their economy sucks right now. So like people are really excited to do their own business, and there's like these huge groups, both in person in Chiang Mai, but also online, that are all Australian dropshippers.
Wow, that's cool, man.
Yeah. So I really think that the UK is gonna be next. And what's cool is when you signed up for the course, how much was it?
It was 1,000.
Okay, so
Yes.
so have you like logged in recently to see all the updates he's given?
No, because I've been working on my Kindle business, so I haven't. I've been focusing solely on that, so it's not really worth my time to actually look at the other course, you know.
Okay.
But when I go back into it, I will open up again, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, actually, what's cool is when you go back in, you're gonna see he's added a ton of content. So if anything, you got in at like a sale price, and now you got all this other free stuff.
Yeah,
I like it.
it's cool.
So, how did you first hear about the Kindle stuff?
All right, so it was like I said, it's about a year and about a year ago. You interviewed a guy. He was making $3,000 a month on Kindle, and I was like, because I've been like trying different businesses. I've been jumping from the one to the next one, and they just weren't working for me.
Okay.
And I was like, right, I'm going to try this Kindle thing. So I started I signed up to it's a course called K-Money Mastery, and I started going through the course, and I was like, I can do this. This is not that difficult. So I started going through the course, and then the first month, which was like about 10 days, I made $26. I was like, and then the next month I made $90, and then the next month I made $200, and then I made $600, and then I made $900. And then last month it dropped down to, I think it was $700.
Okay.
But this month I should make 1,000 this month.
Nice. So you've been making between $700 to $1,000 in Kindle like profit per month, or how does that work?
I haven't. I've been stupid with the business. I haven't been recording it, but I haven't created a new book. Like all of my main investment was basically in the last month was virtual assistants. I've been paying them to do like certain tasks.
Okay.
And that last month, I think it was around, I paid them $400. So $400 to $500. So I made maybe $200 profit last month.
And by the tasks, are these things that like are helping you start new books or new brands, or is it? So I guess here's the question: is the money that you made from Kindle? So like, let's say that's $700. If you didn't have that VA, would you have still gotten that?
I'm not sure. I'm thinking no, because I was making a certain amount, but some of the book, I'd really think about it. I don't think I would have. No, after I have a really think about it, no.
So like,
what the VAs they did help.
Okay, so what are some of the tasks that they're actually doing?
Okay, so so they format the books. They email like what's it called? Like other seller, what they're called, like the top rate sellers. They email other like okay, on the Amazon page, like when someone reviews something, they have an email or they have a website. Now, not everybody has this. Now, if you go into your Amazon seller page, you'll see yourself if you have your email or a website on your page. And some people don't, so they can't do that. So what happens is you have to they have to go in and they email the people that have reviewed the stuff already, and they email, okay, I've got this, the book is on free promotion, I'd love your opinion of it, blah blah blah, and they do that. They format the book. What are the tasks? Format it. I have one to make covers. So there's a few tasks, it's just running off the top of my head.
So it sounds like what they're doing is, they're building the foundation for all your current books and the future books, but the actual income that you're getting from it, once these things are up and running, at some point they don't have to create more covers unless you're creating new books. They don't have to like even get more reviews. It'll be kind of set and done for. So it's almost like the money that you're paying these VAs are an investment to make more money in the future.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's correct.
Oh, that's great. So I mean, like that really does mean that you are making $700 to $1,000 in Kindle per month. You just happen to be reinvesting some of it so you can grow your income more.
Yeah, that's right. It's like the way I see it, like the one thing for the first year I want to do is I'm basically trying to reinvest all of my money into the business. So all that money is reinvested, and then at the end of the year, I'm like, oh, okay, I made like $4,000 this month, but I don't have to do anything, you know. But it's not just Kindle. I put it in KDP, which is Kindle. That's the ebooks, CreateSpace, and there's the audio. I'm also now looking at the CDs, where people can buy the CDs, and everything in the business is, once you've done it, you don't have to do it again, because Amazon does everything for you. Like, someone orders something, they send the file. Someone orders a paperback, Amazon prints it. Someone orders the audio file, Amazon sends it. Someone wants the CD, Amazon makes the CD, sends it. It's that simple of a business, you know?
Yeah, I love it. I love how passive it is. And that's why when I interviewed Adrian for that episode, I think it was episode 84, it was probably the one you listened to, which, you know, it doesn't even feel like that long ago. That was like end of August of last year. You know, I had him on, and I asked him, like, you know, how do you create these books? How do you outsource all of it? Because he doesn't do any of the writing. And I'm assuming, you know, by following the same course as him, you know, you kind of figure out how do you outsource the writing, the book, you know, the book covers, the promotions of it, getting reviews, all that stuff.
Yes. In the course, it shows everything that you need to do to basically build a business up. Yeah, so it's like everything I outsource. Like, I can't write a book, I can't make a cover. Promotion now is too much work for me, so I outsource it. Doing all the tasks, you know, I'm currently making like videos for my VAs, so they're like, okay, I do this, and this, you know, and it's like, boop, and then I give it to them, and like, okay, because the guy that created the course, Stefan, he created like a virtual assistant like training program, but some of the like things he teaches in the program, I want to do differently in my book, so I'm having to record my own ones, so they do it the way I want them to do it. Like, his videos are good. Like, it's got like an extra course as the virtual assistant trader program. They're good, but I'm doing my own one because I'm like, I want them to do it a little bit differently, you know.
Yeah, that's always a great thing too. It's really cool. So what I think is the coolest thing, and one of the reasons why I want to have you on the podcast, is the story of, you know, how people kind of connect and how they become successful is crazy. You know, like, you came to Thailand even before I did. You know, we happened to meet through Muay Thai. You started following my blog. Yeah. You saw, you know, you heard the interview I did with Adrian on the podcast, and then you actually did the work. So instead of just kind of brushing it off and, you know, just saying, okay, well, that'd be nice, you were like, okay, you know what, this sounds like it'll work, let me actually do it. And that's what is most exciting to me, is when readers of my blog or listeners of the podcast, they end up becoming guests because they've followed the advice that the previous guests have left, and they become successful themselves.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to be a guest as well, actually.
Yeah, good, nice.
I've been following the Travel Like a Boss podcast, and I was like, I'm going to try and get some kind of income. I'm going to be a guest on the show.
You know what, that's a great goal. And you know what, those are the guests I love. So I think every single person listening to this should put that, you know, down as a goal. Say, like, I want to have enough income from doing things that, you know, I've learned from Johnny or learned from the guests on the show, so I can go back on it and share with the next generation of people, saying, look guys, this really works. You know, I mean, obviously it wasn't easy, right? Like, you still have to do work, but
no, not easy, but
yeah, but was it worth
hard
it?
Work and dedication. Oh yeah, it's like I'm putting in quite a few hours a day right now, so in like 6 months time, I can sit on the beach and like still be making like $4,000 a month, or 5 or 6. You know, that's why I'm working so hard right now. So in the future, I can just relax.
Yeah, and that's amazing. Just like having the passive income come in, it's great. So what made you join the Earnest affiliate course?
It was like, so I started the Kindle course, and I was like, I want a way to talk about it, because I went online and I was looking around. I was like, there's a lot of people that are talking about Kindle, but they're already successful. And there's no one out there that went from square A or step 1. And to my knowledge, I'm the only person that has gone out there and gone from like day one, this is what I earn. Like, you know, my first month I made $26. And the reason why like I wanted to create the blog is like I created a blog before. It was called myconltd.com. You can still find it. It's still up there, but I think all the posts are deleted. And I was actually doing my honest opinion of the dropshipping store, but like that basically ultimately failed because of like we talked earlier. And I was like, I think this can work, and I want to talk about it. And I was like, at the same time, I was like, it'd be nice to make a little bit of income at the same time. If I make income, fantastic. If I don't, I don't. But it was just a way for me to tell people about what I was saying, because before it was like I'd go to my friends, I was like, hey, look at this, what I'm doing, and they'd be like, shut up. You know, they weren't interested in what I was doing. So I wanted an outlet to be able to tell everybody. And now it's like, you know, if people are interested, they can look at what I'm writing. If they're not interested, whatever, you know. So it's kind of stopped me annoying my friends as well.
Yeah, you know, I think that's really cool, because the thing is, like, it's motivating, right, to be able to share and document. I think one of the best things I've done is document my progress kind of from the beginning, because you see yourself grow, and you can tell if you're being lazy because a month passes, you haven't done anything, and then one of the best ways to learn and grow is to teach. So, you know, if you're just teaching like the very basics that, you know, you just barely mastered, you know, that really helps you master it, right? You know, like if you know, like let's say you learn how to, you know, create you know, like your first book, and then you write about it, and you know, you kind of show people that first step, then the next time you're going to be able to make a book even better, because not only have you done it yourself, but then you also had to go through the process of teaching someone brand new how to do it, and that really helps like clarify things.
Yeah, it's like the other nice thing is like it also keeps me in check. I can't be like, oh, I'm not going to do it this month. I'm like, no, I have to do it because I've already started it. And if I don't do it, people are like it's like certain things like I've done something, and someone says, oh, why are you not doing this now? Why are you not doing this? Like, okay, now I've got to explain to this person why I'm not doing what I'm doing, you know? So it's a nice thing to like keep me motivated as well. It's like, I don't want these people like hassling me, you know?
Yep.
Because it surprises me how many like I think it's now I get like 10 to 20 people viewing my blog a day, and it's just like, who are these people? Why are they viewing my blog? It's like it's just like kind of like it takes me back. I'm like, wow, like people are actually following what I'm doing. People are commenting. People are like messaging me. You know, it's like I've had people thanking me, and I was like, okay, cool. You know, that's like, it's not like being big thing. It's like it's a shock. You know, people are actually saying thank you for my content. You know, because like some of the stuff I give away is like I did a blog post on Trello, which is a completely free software, and I was like, check this software out. I did a video about it, and I was like, this software helps me so much. And then it was not even related to Kindle. A guy who does Muay Thai, Craig Flown, he owns a gym in Scotland, and he said, thank you so much for that video, it helped me out with my planning so much. I was like, that's amazing. You know, it's like, wow, I've helped someone out that I never even thought I could help, you know?
Yeah.
So I concentrate all my efforts on Kindle. It was like, wow.
I think that's amazing. And if you guys want to check out Michael's blog, it's freshbelief.com. And, you know, he writes, you know, very openly about how much money he's making from Kindle. And what I like about it is, you know, it's kind of starts like right from the start, you know, and so for people, you know, I bet you there's some people who might look at like my blogs, my income boards, and be like, you know, oh, it would be nice, but I don't know if I can get to that point. But what's, you know, first off, you can. It just takes time, right? But what I like about your blog is people can look at it and be like, okay, you know what, this guy's, you know, he's making, you know, a couple $100 here, $1,000 here. You know, that I can catch up to. You know, I you know, he's like just one step ahead of me. I can definitely catch up to this guy.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like with the Kindle thing as well. It's like I've been I've mainly been taking like the one course, K-Money Mastery, but I've actually been looking at other things because like sometimes you need a different look at other things as well. You know. Another course that I took was it's called My Self-Publishing Revolution, and it just like it it kind of like, it took me from like, it's basically straight to the point. It says do this, and this, you know. Like with Stefan's course, which is Game Under Mastery, it gives you a wide variety. You know, it tells you, okay, how to set up your back end, to like open your mindset and everything. It shows you a lot, but sometimes you don't know where to look. So with some courses, you know, it's like there's one guy who opened up a course specifically to set up your back end. Mm-hmm. So even though I've taken the Kindle course with Game Under Mastery, I have looked outside as well, because it's those other courses have helped like broaden my mind on like my journey. You know, it's helped me like expand. And I'll be like if like now it's like the 24th of this May. It'll be on around the start of the month. I'll be doing a big blog post on this, to talk about this, on how other courses can expand your mind, and how groups on Facebook can be good and can be dangerous as well, you know.
Yeah, I like it a lot. And you know what? So you're one of the first. You were one of the first members of Earnest Affiliate who I've interviewed. Probably, definitely the first person. So I'm excited to have you here. So look, so besides wanting to kind of share your journey and talk about it, like what made you confident to sign up for the course, and like what have you learned from it?
Well, it was I've been following like your like Johnny FD blog for a while. And I saw you as an honest person. I was like, this guy's talked about this, and you know, this guy seems honest, and his opinions were like whatever he says. I'm gonna listen, you know. I'm gonna see how it goes. And then I signed up for the course, and I don't know how much it is now, but at the time it was $197, and to me, that's a small investment for what I could make back from it. And I was like, yeah, let's just give it a try. Let's see what, you know, I want to do a blog. But last time I ultimately failed because I didn't have any direction. And like anything you do online, it's good to have direction and a course to show you how to get there. Because I could have started a blog myself, and I could have done well from all the free information online. I could have like taken bits off your blog and like, okay, what can I do here? Add this bit. I could have done, but with like taking a course, I was like, right, I've got this guy holding my hand, telling me, okay, do this, do it this way, do it earnestly. Like you say, of course, do it earnestly, because that way I'm like, okay, I have direction from the start. I could have just started advertising things, telling people, blah, 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 you know, like do this, and this, and I could have lost the reader base. But by doing the method you taught me, I feel that I've gained a better following than I could have, you know. So, and at the same time, I've made back treble or quadruple my income on what I originally invested in the course. So that's another plus.
Okay, cool. So how much have you made back from in affiliate income so far?
I don't know the specific figure, but it's like it's about $600 to $800.
Nice. Congrats on that, man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, and so do you think that like you would have by going through the course and having like the direction, do you think that there's any like big mistakes you would have avoided, you know, that you avoided because of it?
Give me a sec. I'll have to actually have a look at one sec. I'm just going on my blog right now because I'm looking at the post I did about your course.
Oh,
I'm actually looking
nice.
at the steps. Yeah. So instruction modules, niche selection. I think maybe the part of the niche selection of like what products to choose and how it works. Affiliate networks, I already could have knew. Websites and blogs, I already knew that part. The content part helped me. I feel that like the first 5 posts, like don't try and sell anything straight away, you know, like that part helped me too. The traffic module also, you know, it's just all of the information on your course. Like I could have got it for free, you know, like it's out there, but at the same time, it's like you have this YouTube video, and you have this YouTube video. YouTube video 1 number says this, number 2 says this, number 3 says this. Some people, they just contradict themselves, and it's for me just taking the course has been like, okay, I'm going to follow one guy, I'm going to follow his direction, I'm going to go straight, I'm just going to listen to his advice and do this. Because if you listen to many people, this guy says this. Oh, this guy says this. And you're like, which guy should I take? Which guy should I take? But by taking your course, you're like just one direction. Just like I just say to follow what he says.
Yeah, especially if it's a person who's actually done it themselves and not some random dude who on YouTube who maybe they've never actually been successful.
Yeah. So it's like at the same time, it's like you've made like if income 10,000. I was like I said in my post, I was like, this guy's made money. So I'm going to follow what he says. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, well, I've got 30 days to refund my money. So
and that's smart. Actually, I think more and more now when people ask me about your questions, I just tell them like, look, just sign up for the course, and if you don't like it, just refund it within 30 days, and I'm completely fine with that. But we get very, very few refunds because I think people will log in and they're like, man, this is a lot of value for $197, which is definitely not going to be for a long time. It's going to be, I'm definitely going to raise the price. I just haven't gotten around to it because I want to add some more things before I raise the price.
I'm looking forward to that. I'll check them out when tell me when they come. I'll check them out.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, big congrats. If you guys want to check out Michael's blog, it's freshbelief.com. And what I think is great about it is because you did it the Earnest way and you did it correctly, not only have you already made $700-800 from your affiliate income, but those people are gonna they're gonna sign up for things that genuinely work, that you've done yourself, that you're kind of helping them with afterwards to see them succeed. And those people are going to come back for more because now that you've gained their trust, because they see the ROI, they know that if they follow you, that you're not going to lead them astray, you're not going to try to rip them off, that you're only going to recommend good things. Your reader base is going to grow, your audience is going to grow. Each person following you, they're going to slowly gain more and more trust in you, and your affiliate income is going to skyrocket one day.
Yeah. Well, the other thing I'd say is good about my blog is like you can say, well, this guy's followed my course. Check out what he's done.
Yeah, definitely. It is kind of funny that how similar your blog looks to mine, though. Did you use the same theme?
No, I used what's the theme? I can't remember what the theme's called, but I used Blogger, and I just like mimicked certain things off your blog because your blog's successful. I'm like, right, I just want to do that, like I want to see what works, like I like that part, I'm going to copy that part, Okay. So
yeah, and it's all right. And, you still have your own personality to it. It's still, it's still your face on it. I think eventually what happens is, in the beginning, people might kind of be like, okay, let me like really, really follow the template exactly. But then eventually people are like, okay, well, now I kind of found my own voice. I understand the concepts behind it. They kind of do it more their own way.
Yeah, of course.
But one other good thing is, I think like if someone just like looks on my blog on johnnyft.com and they like, let's say they just made it look exactly the same, it wouldn't. I honestly don't think people would be as successful because they wouldn't understand why the post is the way it is, why things are where they are, because I honestly think the knowledge behind it and the explanations behind it are actually way more important than just the way things aesthetically look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like with the I remember you saying like, okay, do like a picture for the post, and the Aweber one, like I did put in the Aweber, I put the Kindle pad, and then I wrote it in black on a different background. And since doing that post, like I haven't had anyone sign up to Aweber, but the people clicking through, visitors to the actual affiliate page, is shot up. It's like it went from like 0 to like 6, 10, 15. It's just shot up, and I'm like, okay, one day someone's going to sign up, and I'm going to get like a recurring income from this.
Oh yeah, definitely. And and the two tricks to that is either to get more traffic, which you already started doing, but also in the I think module 8 or 7, it shows you how to get more traffic, and then also create posts where you can like really give more value, give people reasons and ROI on why they should use something like Aweber, which is a great email service that if you do it correctly, you can earn a lot of money by having a good mailing list.
Yeah, it's right now I'm concentrating a lot of my thing on Kindle. Like I've got like I think like 3 or 4 posts backed up, which I'll be just putting out because I'm concentrating a lot of my energy on Kindle. But then posting, like I'm trying to post twice a week. like the the interview I did with you. I'm going to be posting that up like for today. So yeah, it's just, like on your course automation, just like back up the ones, like create like content you can do. Like I had how to create an email list. I wrote that like 2 weeks ago. The Trello one, I wrote that like 2 weeks ago. So I wrote like 5 posts 2 weeks ago, which are like kind of evergreen ones, which I could post whenever I wanted, and then I just posted them in certain times.
Nice, I like it. Actually, so I asked you one question about the domain name. So how did you get freshbelief.com? How did you think of that?
It took me about a month to think of it. I was going through a lot of thoughts, and then it was like the fresh belief, and I was thinking, I've failed a lot of times. You wouldn't believe it. I've tried this, I've failed. I've tried this, I've failed. But at the end of the day, even though I had even my family were saying, get the 9-to-5 job. You need to pay money. You need to earn a salary. I was like, nah. I believe I can do this. If I keep on pushing and pushing and pushing, I'm gonna get it one day. It's like even with the Kindle business. If my Kindle business failed, I would just try it again. I would say, I've made money from it. I'm just going to try again. I'm going to push and push and push. And I believe that just by pushing and putting effort into anything, even if you don't have the skill and you keep believing in yourself, even if nobody else believes in you, you can do anything.
I like it. And you know what's really cool about that is also it kind of shows that short 2-word domains still exist out there. Because I'm assuming it was available to register and you didn't have to pay for it?
Yes, just $10.
Yeah. So it really shows that like a lot of people, I remember someone like complaining saying, online business no longer works because all the good domains are taken. And this is some idiot on Reddit. And first off, you don't need the best domain in the world to have a successful business, whether it's a dropshipping store or a blog, but it does help to have a nice domain. And it just means that you have to put in the effort and the time to find it. And you kind of just proved that, this great domain that's short, it's easy to spell, has a great meaning behind it, was available.
Yeah. It's like that. I'd say that's the hardest thing about like the blog was the domain name. And I thought of good ones and they were taken, and I only wanted the .com. I didn't want .net.
Smart,
.org.
very smart.
So yeah,
I love it, man. So hey, congratulations. I have a feeling that you're gonna do super well. I'm gonna see you on the beach, making $4,000 in passive income, sipping the coconuts. Yeah. And I honestly, I have a feeling that you're going to do extremely well with all your business, with your work ethic, your fresh belief, believing in yourself and pushing forward. So good job.
Yeah, thank you. And if you ever come to Bangkok, I'll be at the Huerta workplace. I'll be working there from now on.
All right, sounds good. I'm actually flying out there tomorrow night for a few days, so I'll look you up.
I'm not in Bangkok until next week, so just let me know and I'll let you know. I'm still outside of Bangkok, but we could hook up. So just let me know, man.
No worries. All right, I'll see all you guys next week. Bye bye. Thank you for listening to the Travel Like a Boss podcast. If you want to hear more, including the bonus How to Choose the Perfect Niche episode, join our mailing list at travellikeabosspodcast.com. See you next week, and remember, if you want to travel like a boss, you need to be your own boss. So start your online business today and start living the lifestyle you've always dreamed of.